Inspector Carr investigates.
You'll remember that the case I chose for dramatization last week was apposite to this time of the year. Well, tonight's story will, I think, demonstrate not only the evil that men do in terms of murder, but also the good. And in the case of an ex-convict named Charles Shanley, from the most unexpected source. He displayed towards me a spirit of goodwill which I found quite touching. Little did I realize that this spirit of Christmas generated by Shanley was to cause his death. Let me tell you about it. I've called my story Concrete Evidence. As in South Africa, the British forces of law and order have created special machinery to ensure the welfare and security of the dependents of officers who can no longer pursue their calling. One such body is known as the Police and Prison Officers Welfare Fund, in which I was particularly active. Every Boxing Day, we held a fun fair in support of our funds. I was on the coconut shy stand. Roll up, roll up! 3 shies for a shilling. Hit a coconut and you get one of these magnificent prizes. Oh, come along, madam.
I'll have a go, Governor.
Oh, why, thank you, sir. 1 shilling. Good heavens. Hello, Charlie. Oh, it's nice to see you here. Now, don't let me put you off your stroke.
I was looking for you, sir.
Oh, well, let's not hold up the traffic. Take your aim, my friend.
Right.
Oh, bad luck, Charlie. What about you, sir? Not interested? Hey, what is it, Charlie? You're looking worried. Have you ever known the sun to shine on Boxing Day? And here it is almost as though it's early spring.
Anywhere I can talk, sir. I think it's important.
You're not in trouble, Charles, are you? You've been on a straight and narrow for...
I'm not, sir. But you are. Anywhere we can talk.
Well, the Assistant Commissioner's relieving me at 12 o'clock. Now, you see that marquee? It's a food marquee, and a big sign over there that says food and drink. You see it? Well, I'll be there at 12:15. How'd you like your sausage and mash?
Great. I've no appetite. They're putting a finger on you, Gov.
Are you serious?
I wish I wasn't. I read in the paper that all the top brass from Scotland Yard would be on the stalls. Your name was mentioned, so I thought I'd come looking for you. I've come to warn you.
What's all this about?
I got it from my missus last night.
Huh?
We were at her sister's place. I didn't want to go, but Myrtle made me. You see, Agnes, my sister-in-law, is married to Dan Carson's, the Leyston mob.
Well, I never knew that. In fact, I didn't know you were married.
Oh, Myrtle's all right. I met her when it was in hospital, in gallstones. And then, blow me down, my sister-in-law tells me that she's getting married to a chap called Carson's. I didn't know it was Dan until I went to the registry office. You know, I've kept clear, don't you, Gov?
Well, tell me what happened last night.
Well, nothing at the party, really. We all saw the Christmas Inn, and when I was driving home... bloomin' cold, isn't it? What time's it, love?
Must be about 1:30. Wish it would snow. Be nice to have snow on the ground Christmas morning.
I don't know about you. I'm ready for bed. Everything went off all right, though, didn't it? Boys must be doing pretty well. All that champagne and oysters. Bet it cost them a pretty penny.
Charlie, you're not anchoring after the old days, are you?
Me? Don't be silly.
That chap they call Spotty.
Spotty Evans? Well, what about him?
Well, he was teasing me about you. You know, you're going straight and that.
Oh, he was rolling all over the place. Can't blame him. He's just come out of jail. Been in for over 3 years.
He said something very funny to me.
How?
He said, tell your husband he'd better buy himself a black tie to wear at his guardian angel's funeral. I didn't know what he was talking about half the time. I said, what guardian angel? And he said, a copper named Chief Inspector Carr. And then Dan came over and said Agnes wanted me to help her in the kitchen. What did he mean? He looked very serious when he said it. Who is this Chief Inspector Carr?
Blimey. Yeah, that's right.
What's right, Charlie?
Spotty's brother Lynn tried to make a getaway from the moor. He got killed. I don't know why they should blame the copper for that. Well, there it is, Gov. I've been thinking about it all day yesterday. Then I read that you were going to be here. Well, I came looking for you.
Well, that was a very brave gesture on your part.
There may be nothing in it, but...
When a character like Spotty Evans talks about my being obliterated, I have to take notice.
You won't mention me or Myrtle.
No, of course not.
Anything else, gentlemen? Coffee?
Not for me, Governor. I'll better run. I promised to pick Myrtle up at 3:30.
Well, no, thanks. All right, Charlie. Well, I've got to get back to the store. Thanks again. Yes?
Spotty Evans, sir. He's on his way up.
Right, thanks. Come in.
Here you go.
Oh, what's here's all this? What have I been picked up?
You haven't been picked up, Mr. Evans. You received a polite request to accompany Sergeant Jackson to the yard. Okay, Sergeant, thank you.
Right, sir.
Come and sit down.
What do you want me for?
Now, this is entirely off the record. You're not being questioned officially. You wouldn't have wanted to lower yourself in the eyes of your friends by having a senior cop call on you, would you? People might think I've called to extend festive greetings.
What is all this?
I want to get the record straight. If you think that I derive pleasure from reading of your brother's accident, you're mistaken.
Accident? There's no accident. They pushed him off that roof.
Oh, that's nonsense, and you know it. He got up onto the roof through the ventilator shaft, and when the warders spotted him, he tried to leap onto the roof of the laundry wing. There was ice, snow, and he fell. Now, don't get me wrong, Spotty. I'm not afraid of you or your threats, but I've called you in here for your own good. You've been overheard to say that the mob is going to put the finger on me. All right. Now, supposing that did happen, supposing I did get a knife in my back one dark night, you're the man they're coming for.
I don't know what you're talking about.
You don't, eh? Well, that's all I've got to say to you. You've been out of stir for less than a week. Uttering threats against the personal safety of an officer of the law is a punishable offence. I could put you inside. But it's the season of peace on earth and goodwill. Did you get the message?
I get the message. But I've uttered no threats. When you put my brother inside...
I didn't put your brother inside. The judge did that. I just arrested him.
If anyone's been uttering threats, it's one of the mob. My brother was number one, you know that.
Oh, indeed, I know that. So, you'd better spread the word. That's all. You can go. Sergeant Jackson!
Sir?
See this gentleman out?
You don't have to. It ain't the first time I've been here.
Well, why didn't you put him in, sir?
I can't. If we brought him before a magistrate on a charge of uttering threats, we'd have to prove it. And that means subpoenaing Shanley's wife, Myrtle. Now, although her brother-in-law, Dan, is not a member of the Leyston mob, the fact that she's turned copper's narc would make life very difficult for her.
And do you think pulling Spotty in has done any good?
I don't know. Let's hope so. I don't want to be a martyr to the cause of law and order. Besides, I'm looking forward to the Assistant Commissioner's party, New Year.
I've been looking up the records of the Evans trial, sir. Len killed that old boy with a razor, didn't he?
Yes, he did. Of course, he had three of his stooges swearing that he was playing cards with them at the time. The old boy in question was one of our informers. He made an injudicious remark to one of his friends, and that was the end of him. Oh, they're a tough lot, Jackson. That's why I'm having Spotty tailed. We don't know whether the gang has broken up or not.
What about the three who gave false alibis, sir?
Oh, they went inside 6 months, attempting to defeat the ends of justice. I've had X-Branch on the job. One's died, one's working at a hotel in the Isle of Wight, and the third one's back inside. Oh, well, let's get down to some work. I'd better send the dossier concerning Baxter to the DPP for his decision.
Very good, sir.
Good heavens, it's 1:10. I'm starving. I'll nip around the corner and get myself a coffee and a sandwich.
Midday destination star authorizing form. Hello, sir. Merry Christmas.
Ah, there, Johnny. A little late for that. Happy festive season to you. Happy New Year.
Hey, you, Governor. Living cold, ain't it?
Yes, it is. And a kid like you ought to be at home, not flogging papers for his dad.
Oh, he's got one of his colds again. You're not going to report me like you said last time, are you?
I'll let you off, as this is the festive season, but tell your father from me...
Who's going to look after me, Maggie, and me poor sisters and brothers? We're starving.
Oh, starving. You haven't any sisters and brothers.
Excuse me, Governor. Paper man, authorizing form.
Oh, there you are, son.
Blimey, what was that?
Up there, top of that scaffolding. If I hadn't turned back to give you this Christmas box, The remains of me would be splattered on that pavement. Now, I've made it a golden rule never to touch any kind of alcohol during the day, certainly not when I'm on duty. I was sufficiently shaken to break that rule.
Hello, sir. Don't often see you in here. Certainly not this time, anyway. More a bit, sir.
Not this time, George. I'll have a brandy.
Brandy, sir?
Well, don't look surprised, George. It's purely medicinal.
Oh, a lot of activity around here, sir. Those police cars. Two of the regulars attached to the yard were called back on their walkie-talkie.
Yes, George, we're searching the area. Now, take a look at this picture.
Oh?
He might have popped in after paying me a visit. Ever seen him?
Don't think so, sir. No. Here, listen. No, sir. Is that what they're after?
He's one of them. Yeah, what about that brandy, George? I need it.
Come on, right away, sir.
Oh, all right, George, it's my walkie-talkie. Carr?
Sergeant Jackson here, sir.
Yes, Jackson.
We think we've got him. He's on top of Bowden's building.
Just the one? Took at least 2 men to lift that concrete.
That's all the report I got, sir.
Bowden's building. Right, I'll be right over.
It's a brandy, sir.
Oh, don't bother about the change. I don't need the brandy now. I've just received a tonic. Place cordoned off?
Oh, yes, sir.
Good. Ah, there's the stairs to the roof.
Yes, sir.
Well, come on.
Don't be a fool! Any of you coming in there and I'll jump! Well, there you are, you rotten swine!
Call me anything you like, but come back off that ledge.
What for? We tried to do you, didn't we? Oh, well, we missed you.
While I'm talking, get one of the men to organize the fire brigade. Get them those new life-saving sheets.
Right, sir.
Keep away!
Stay where you are, man! Well, Spotty, it's all in the luck of the game. You missed me. I had my little walkie-talkie with me, and so my friends were on the spot in a matter of minutes. Didn't they give you a chance to get down from the building next door?
We won't miss next time!
You fool! You, report to me when you get back to the yard. You thought we needed that man's life. We needed to know who was with him on that next building. He's died just as his brother did. What do you think the press will make of this? All right, Sergeant, do the necessary. Yes?
The assistant commissioner's on the line, sir.
Oh, thank you. Hello, sir.
Carr. Oh, I've read the docket. We've got to question this man Shanley. You must see that. The street was crowded when that attempt was made on your life.
Yeah, but, sir, Shanley himself knows nothing. It was his wife...
Yes, Carr, I know. His wife's sister is married to that villain Carson's. He must know something about the Leyston mob. Otherwise, he'd not have invited them to his Christmas Eve party.
Well, I'll have a word with Carson's, but we'll get nothing out of him, sir, even if we throw the book at him.
You don't think he's party to the attempt on your life?
No, sir, I don't. It's not his scene at all. Oh, he's a villain, but he doesn't go in for the strong-arm stuff. I think we'll be wasting our time, sir.
Well, all right, if that's how you feel. But I intend having you tailed, Carr. We're going to watch you. See you don't do anything reckless.
Oh, now, Commissioner.
Dash it, man. I can't have you bumped off before my party. I'll be 1 mail short.
Excuse me, sir.
What is it, operations? You want me or Chief Inspector Carr?
Both, sir. Both, sir. We've just received a report that Charles Shanley has been found shot dead on Clapton Common.
He swore to me, swore on little Sid's life that he'd never again be mixed up with any of those crooks.
I'm sure he kept his word, Mrs. Shanley.
Then why? Why should this have happened to him? When he didn't come home all night, I wasn't worried. With the bad weather, I thought he might have pulled in at one of those cabs Charlie used.
Can't tell you how sorry I am, Mrs. Shanley. Your husband was a fine and Brave man. He delivered the truck to National Removals, where he worked, 1 o'clock this morning. He always walked across the common to get here, didn't he?
What's going to happen to us now? To me and my baby?
Oh, I know it won't make anything easier for you, but we believe that your husband died because he wanted to save me from being killed.
I don't understand. He went out on Boxing Day, wouldn't tell me where he'd been, and when I heard that he'd been murdered, well, I began to think it was... Oh, I forgot, of course. This is Spotty Evans, what jumped from the roof, and you're Mr. Carr. Spotty talked about you.
I'll tell you where your husband went on Boxing Day. He came to see me, to warn me.
I wish I'd kept my big mouth shut. He'd be alive today if I had, wouldn't he?
Yes, Mrs. Shanley.
Oh.
Yes, he would. I've been authorized by the Commissioner of Police to tell you that your husband will be receiving what they call a posthumous reward of £2,000, and that your child will receive an annuity of £500 a year until he leaves school.
I don't know what to do. What to say?
It's I who am at a loss for words, Mrs. Shanley. I can't help feeling guilty about the whole thing. I should have arranged protection for your husband, but since he assured me that... Oh, what's the use?
You mustn't look so upset, Mr. Carr. It wasn't your fault.
Well, be that as it may, it's now the 29th of December. Now, what are you going to do? You don't want to stay here, you and your young son, do you?
No. I'll go back home to my mum and dad. They've kept my room.
But what about... Will you be offended if I offer you this?
Oh, that's not necessary. Charlie earned good wages as a truck driver. We put by a bit each week. I bought him something he'd always wanted, never had. The way he smiled, even his eyes seemed to be laughing when he saw that camera. And we were going to have such a happy Christmas.
Of course, my feelings as I made my departure can well be imagined. My next visit was on Myrtle's sister and her husband. It proved as abortive as I knew it would be. His protestations that he had no knowledge of who the members of the mob were rang true. If it was the last thing I ever did, Charlie Shanley's death was going to be avenged. Now, Sergeant, look at this map. Now, within 5 seconds of that block of cement landing at my feet, I was able to pinpoint the spot where the swines must have been standing, right?
Right, sir.
Well, obviously, as soon as they saw they'd missed me, they split up. Both buildings were unattended. The one next door was in the process of being demolished. Now, you can see what happened. Evans leapt from the insurance building onto Bowden's building. But by the time he tried to get away, our men were racing up the stairs and had commandeered the lift. So he was cornered. The other swine must have clambered down the ladder or what have you. But how did he make his getaway? Take at least 2 minutes to get down. Well, there's only one building next to it, other than the Bowden one, and that's this, Universal Catering. I want you to find out... Good heavens.
Sir?
Well, Of course it must be. I'm going to have a word with Universal Catering.
Was this building occupied? Of course. This is a very busy time of the year for us.
So I imagine it.
A number of your men came yesterday, asked me if I'd seen or heard anything untoward. I assured them that we knew nothing of the rumpus that was going on outside. I could hear police sirens and men rushing about. We were told that they were looking for some desperados. Well, not that it disturbed us unduly. It was between 1 and 2, and that's when my staff take their lunch.
I see. I'm looking for a man who's about 5'8" or 9 inches in height, stockily built, dark brown, almost black hair, and a moustache which these days they call Che Guevara.
Oh, I know what you mean. One of those moustaches that droops down on each side.
Yes.
Well, I've got a number of young male employees who adopt that kind of style.
I'd be grateful if they were called to your office.
But, my dear chap, most of them aren't working. Don't you know what it's
Yes,
like?
all right. Well, give me a list of where they're working.
Oh, excuse me, sir. I didn't know you had company, Mr. Palmer.
Yes, Victor, what is it?
How many will we need for the Mitchell wedding?
I gave all the particulars to Mrs. Fletcher.
Oh, sorry, she's not in her office.
She must be. She hasn't gone out. Oh, she may have gone to the washroom.
Right, sir. Sorry to trouble you. I'll get all the griff from her.
What's his name?
Victor.
Victor what?
Casey. Why?
Oh, excuse me a moment. I must use my walkie-talkie. Hello, Ops. Can you hear me? Hello, Ops.
Yes, sir. Coming through clear.
The man with the description I gave X-Branch is named Victor Casey. I think he's just had a fright. Made some feeble excuse. He was worried when he saw me enter this office to talk to his boss. Now, quickly, I want him shadowed. My guess is he won't go straight to his job of work. We might be able to find where the mob hangs out. But he's not to be let out of our sight. If necessary, get him pulled in.
Understood, sir.
I don't understand.
Oh, I'm sorry. But the day the rumpus was on, when our men came searching the building, where was this chap, Victor?
He was here, preparing. What is this?
And he took his lunch from 1 to 2, right?
Yes, that's right.
I see. I want to take a look at your roof again, please. My guess is right, Sergeant. Let's see what he does now, Why don't they say something? We haven't had a report for the last half hour.
Oh, something coming in now, sir.
Yeah?
Hartford reporting. Our bird has paid off a taxi. He's going into a public house called the Royal Oak. I'm at the window. I can see him quite clearly. He's gone over to a table. Talking to two other men. The three of them look as though they're very worried indeed.
Yeah, give me that. Hello? Hello?
Yes?
Carr here. I want the three of them pulled in. Let's take a gamble.
That's incredible. I just can't believe it.
Believe it or not, Mr. Palmer, this Victor Casey is a member of the Leyston mob. Luckily, he broke down and squealed. The three of them were charged with the murder of Shanley and the attempted murder of a police officer.
Meaning you.
Meaning me.
Incredible. He's only been with me 6 months.
Well, the idea being that once you found his work satisfactory, you'd give him the job he now has. Responsible for organizing weddings and other functions. Think of the information he could pass on to the rest of the mob.
Oh, incredible. How did you get on to him?
Well, I should have got onto him 2 days ago. You see, it was all a matter of deduction. It had to be one of your employees. It was reasonable to assume that one of the two men who tried to kill me made his getaway by clambering onto the Universal Caterer's roof and mixing with the employees. Remember, I got the buildings involved surrounded in a matter of a few minutes. And then the very name of the concern, Universal Caterers, sparked off something I should have thought of long before.
You won't mention this to anyone?
No, of course not.
Anything else, gentlemen? Coffee?
The waiter in question was Victor. Universal Caterers supplied the meals at the fun fair. No one was told that Shanley was coming to see me, and yet they killed him as an informer. And so it's these tenuous threads which provide the pattern leading to the culprit.
Inspector Carr Investigates, with Hugh Rouse in the title role, is written and produced by Michael Silver. Listen again next Thursday night as Inspector Carr Investigates.
The makers of Epic Pure Sunflower Oil, Purine and Pret Cooking Fat, Yum Yum Peanut Butter, Maple Margarine, and Niblets Cheese Twists present the Epic Casebook. In which Inspector Carr investigates.
Good evening. I remember when I was a young sergeant, keeping more regular hours than I did when I became an inspector, wondering about a shriveled old lady I used to see walking down Vine Street during the winter months. As she would clutch her faded finery against the cold wind, a single ostrich feather would droop from a ridiculous little hat kept on top of her head by means of a hat pin. It seemed intent on tickling her nostril, and now and again she would make abortive efforts to push the feather back in its place. Her shoes were cracked and down at heel, and her hands, blue with cold, would clutch at a shawl that had seen better days. Being young, I began to conjure up fanciful pictures about her. A poor, lonely old woman making for the nearest public house in order to purchase a few coppers' worth of cheap red biddy. Every weeknight, as I emerged from the police station promptly at 6, from November through to the end of January, she would be walking towards me. My curiosity became so great that I wanted to speak to her or press a 10-shilling note into her palm. Luckily, I desisted. One day, I saw a picture of her in the newspaper. It told of her death and funeral, attended by over 900 scientists and research workers from all over the world. She was Professor Mary Sharpleton, and her research and books in the field of genetics is still required reading. She used to come to London to attend the Royal Society lectures during its winter term. A woman oblivious of self, dedicated to the cause of humanity. Ever since then, I've marveled at the devotion and single-mindedness of scientists and sociologists. I mention this because my story tonight concerns the murder of Professor Gustav Schultz. I've called my story The Antithesis of Life.
What are you eating?
Peanut butter sandwich. I haven't enjoyed one like this since I was a kid.
Well, they didn't have yum-yum when you were a kid.
What's the diff? Peanut butter's peanut butter.
There is a difference. I can't bear peanut butter to stick to the roof of my mouth, and yum-yum doesn't. It's extra creamy all the way down the jar.
Too smooth. Well, it's been a long time, and I must say it's very nice.
Yum-Yum has changed peanut butter since most of us were kids. Smooth and creamy from the first pat to the last bit at the bottom of the jar. No wonder little boys, and dads too, enjoy scooping it out by the fingerful.
Kids today have everything better, don't they?
And there's a 4 cents off deal on Yum-Yum peanut butter at all stores.
Yippee! Hey, Mom, why don't you buy me some Yum-Yum tomorrow?
At the time he met his death, Professor Schultz was reading a paper at the Royal Society on the relationship between ancient taboos and modern biochemical developments.
And so it will be seen that when Freud wrote his book Totems and Taboos, he was so preoccupied with the id and the subconscious that he failed to take into consideration the ever-changing chemical structures within the human psyche. Excuse me, please.
Oh, here, let me do it for you, Professor. There we are.
Dankeschön.
Good heavens, the Professor seems to have suffered a heart attack.
But it was not a heart attack in the accepted medical sense. His heart gave out all right. Professor Schultz died from swallowing a lethal dose of poison. Professor Wilson, who presided over the proceedings, realized what had happened almost immediately. He communicated with the police. His was the solitary figure as I arrived at the hall. Inspector Carr, Scotland Yard.
Oh, thank goodness you're here. I didn't know what to do for the best. Poor Schultz. I decided to send everyone back to their place of residence. There are 75 delegates attending this Congress, most of them from overseas.
I did not convey to them my suspicions that Professor Schultz had been murdered. I thought it prudent to be equivocal. So please, gentlemen, do not come forward. As you can see, Professor Schultz has been taken seriously ill. Now, there are only 5 more pages to his thesis. Copies of his paper will be distributed to you all at tomorrow morning's session. Professor Marchbanks, would you please give me a hand? As you'll see, Professor Schultz is slightly built. Marchbanks and I had no difficulty in carrying his body to the antechamber.
According to the statement you gave over the telephone, you say that this gentleman sipped at a glass of water and slumped forward. There were immediate symptoms that the water contained poison?
Oh, no question about it. As you'll see when you look at the body, it was fortunate that the platform is some 8 feet away from the first row of seats.
Why fortunate, Professor?
The delegates could not see Schultz's face as he slumped forward. It might have caused some sort of panic.
Oh.
Certainly the fact that a murder has been committed at the Royal Society and that the victim was the eminent Professor Gustav Schultz would have been broadcast all over the world.
If you're correct in your diagnosis, and I would not question it for 1 second, Professor Wilson, the Society is in for a spate of publicity. I mean, it isn't often that murder
that's just it, Inspector. Does the news of the murder have to leak out?
These things can never be kept secret.
Professor Marchbanks is at this very moment telephoning Germany, notifying Frau Schultz that her husband has collapsed and died. If we can keep it from the public until we've found out how the poison got into that glass, I'd be grateful.
Well, I can understand your concern for the good name of the Society, and that the dignified proceedings of your Congress should not be unduly disturbed.
Good heavens, it isn't that, Inspector. Just that as President of the Royal Society, and at the same time as your most obvious suspect...
Oh, just a minute. Why do you say my most obvious suspect?
Well, I've told you. I was the one that poured that water from the jug into the glass and handed it to him. Frankly, I'm concerned for the dignity and reputation of the Royal Society, and more selfishly, my own position. I've heard of your work, Inspector, and I'm hoping and praying that before news of this murder leaks out, you'll have apprehended the monster who caused Professor Schultz's death. That's why I asked everyone to leave, including the caretaker.
Mm-hmm. I take it you've examined the jug and the glass containing the poison?
Yes, Inspector, if you'll come with me.
Professor Wilson and I left the Congress Hall and walked towards the antechamber. Coming towards us was a short, rotund, middle-aged man in his early 50s. He was as unlike a scientist as one could possibly imagine. Yet it was the famous Professor Marchbanks, responsible for the Marchbanks theory into the materialist conception of medical history.
I've broken the news to Frau Schultz. She wanted to know the cause of her husband's death. I evaded a direct answer by saying that we wouldn't know until the autopsy had been held. Are you from the police, sir?
This is Inspector Carr, Professor March.
Oh, how do you do, Inspector? Terrible business. To happen here, of all places.
How do you do, Professor?
I'm about to show the inspector the body. What a terrible word.
Now, what have you done with the jug and the glass?
I placed them in the anteroom, knowing how vital they'll be to your inquiries.
Have you told the inspector about the slight contretemps over the agenda?
No, I was about to.
What was that?
Well, Marchbanks and I were responsible for drawing up the agenda. There was a cocktail party last night, a traditional event on the eve of our annual Congress.
Professor Wilson, may I have a word with you, please? Guten Abend, Professor Marchbanks.
Oh, good evening, Professor Schultz.
Oh, certainly, but will you...
No. It concerns Professor Marchbanks. You two constitute, how you say, the steering committee, no?
Yes, Professor. Oh, by the way, how do you find your hotel? Adequate?
Let us not indulge in trivialities. I see that you have down here Professor Henderson to speak at 9 o'clock, and I will read my paper at 11 after the tea recess, no?
Yes, that's right. Marchbanks and I thought
No.
But why?
Have you not read his critique of my book? The man is a charlatan. He claims to a scholarship he does not possess. Only in this country could Henderson become professor. They reprinted his article in Der Spiegel. Now, in my country, I was made...
Before you go on, Professor Schultz, Norman Henderson happens to be my son-in-law. There's no more gifted man in his field. If you're questioning either his integrity or his qualifications...
If he speaks first, it means we are both on the platform together tomorrow evening. Tomorrow morning. Now, this I will not tolerate. I've already written to the association expressing my disgust at such cheap scientific journalism.
Now, look here. Henderson's not only Wilson's son-in-law, he's a dear friend of mine. And I'm not going to stand here listening to you running...
on, Marchbanks. You're all right, Professor Schultz. I don't want the Congress to start on an acrimonious note. I'll get a new agenda run-off. You may read your paper first thing tomorrow morning. Expected this morning to have a slightly charged atmosphere. I wasn't prepared for what did happen, though.
I'm sure you weren't. Oh, should we go in?
Yes, certainly. It's just here. I took the precaution of locking the door just in case the murderer was still lurking in the building.
I cannot pretend that I find the Herr Professor a man of endearing charm, but to have this happen to him... The antechamber was a sort of study-cum-reference library. The walls completely covered in books of heavy binding. Obviously, learned tomes ready to be used by members of the society requiring items for reference. Sprawling in a large armchair was the lifeless body of the German delegate. It did not require any training in medicine to appreciate the fact that he'd been poisoned. The blue tinge around his lips and nostrils, the slight bubbles of froth at each end of his mouth told the tale all too clearly. On a small table near the body was a half-filled jug and a glass containing a minute amount of liquid. I assume the glass fell from his hand as he collapsed.
Yes, Inspector, but there remained sufficient liquid for laboratory analysis.
Good. And the jug? If you say that you poured the water from the
Just
jug...
a minute, Inspector. Smell this jug.
Huh? There's no smell of almonds or any other kind of acid.
Now, smell this glass.
Mm-hmm. It's not almonds. That's extraordinary smell. It's almost like stale cabbage.
Yes, Inspector Carr. That's how we describe the smell of parricide. It's 10 times deadlier than cyanide. Now, do you see why I'm apprehensive for my reputation?
Honestly, Wilson, no one's going to...
Just a minute, sir. Tell me about the parricide.
Well, it was discovered during the early part of the war. Professor Coble at Oxford discovered that, given the right amount of humidity, one could produce from the fungus an acid which, when mixed with a certain agent, produced what we now know as parricide. It was used to poison wells by our special agents acting behind the lines. Many a poor blighter swallowed the capsule rather than fall into the hands of the Gestapo.
You say that the professor was giving his lecture, paused to get a drink of water. Oh, but you did it for him, You picked up the jug and the glass, poured the water into the glass.
It must have contained a minute spot of parricide.
You didn't see it?
Inspector, except for its smell, which one would hardly notice in the midst of a lecture, a parricide is completely colorless.
And so the $64 question is, who put the parricide in the glass, when, and why?
I don't know how you do it. I just don't know.
Do what?
Well, cook the meals you do on your housekeeping budget.
When you're a housewife, you learn all the tricks. Like today, I bought a big supply of Pret shortening. It's good. I know lots of girls who don't have to budget, but they won't use anything but Pret.
Well, what do you use it for?
Almost everything. Roasting, baking, and of course pastry. Pret is the shortening for pastry, you know.
Well, darling, I think you're a wonderful cook.
Thank you.
My mother was a great cook, too.
My mother's a better cook than your mother.
Nobody can cook as good as my mom.
When it comes to cooking, mothers go down in history. And when it comes to pastry, tender golden roasts, light crispy fries, Pret shortening stands alone among women who care.
My the cook's with Pret.
There was little more I could do at the august building that housed the Royal Society. Having arranged for the corpse to be removed to the police mortuary so that our own surgeons could examine it, and the jug and glass to be sent to our forensic laboratories, I returned to Scotland Yard. By then it was almost lunchtime, with the midday racing editions containing news of Schultz's death.
Read all about it. Royal Society delegate drops dead. Sudden death of German professor. Read all about it.
Yeah.
Oh, hello, Inspector.
Hello.
Some professor collapses. You'd think all these scientists would know how to live forever, wouldn't you?
A problem that has escaped man since time immemorial.
Oh, blimey, Inspector. You are being a bit...
Royal Society-ish, would you say? It does get infections.
What's that, infections?
Never mind. I'm thinking of poison.
I see, Inspector. You want to know who manufactures parricide and where?
That's right, Ops. Get through to X branch.
Right, sir.
Schultz lived at Stuttgart. Get through to the commandant there. We'd be grateful for any discreet inquiries he could make. Any enemies, that sort of thing.
Right, sir.
I also want to know from immigration how often Professor Schultz visited the United Kingdom, whether the immigration form gives references. In fact, I want as clear a picture as I can possibly get of Schultz's activities and contacts over the last 10 years.
Right, sir.
My compliments to X-Branch. If they don't come up with something pretty soon, it means getting to work on the background of 75 eminent scientists from 48 different countries.
Blimey, sir.
Say that again. Get weaving.
Very good, sir.
Oh, are you Mr. Matthews?
Yes, that's right, sir. You wanted to see me?
Yes, do come in. Sit down.
Yeah, thank you, sir.
Don't be nervous. No one's going to eat you. You've heard that one of the speakers died this morning?
Yes, I did, sir.
You're caretaker come staff superintendent, aren't you?
Yes, sir, that's right. I see to it that the cleaners do their work properly. The attendants are on hand when the Royal Society is open for lectures, that sort of thing, sir.
I gather. Now, Mr. Matthews, your evidence is vitally important.
Well, I can understand that, sir. Poor bloke being murdered away from his home.
Frankly, I'm trying to crack this case before the press get hold of the full facts. An incident like this can create all sorts of international frictions. Now, someone put poison in that glass. What I want from you is a complete timetable. When the glasses are taken from their storage place, who washes them, who got hold of the jug, the lot.
I see, sir. Yes,
better still, I think I'd better go over there, and I'd like you to get the staff on parade. I want everyone to go through the motions of their activities this morning. Where were they? How far away were they from the Congress Hall? And most important of all, who handled the glass and the jug?
Very good, sir.
Listen to me, everyone. Quiet, please. You know that a guest of the Royal Society collapsed and died suddenly some hours ago. We had hoped to confine our investigations within circumscribed limits so that it is not common knowledge that foul play is suspected. It is. Vital to my investigation is the knowledge of what you were all doing when this tragic incident occurred. I want to know also who handled the jug and the glass that were placed on the platform table. And so, urged on by Matthews, the staff mimed their actions earlier that day. It seemed that one man handled the glass containing the deadly poison. Now you say, Buckley, that you took the glass and the jug from that cupboard, walked over to the sink, washed and dried them, half-filled the jug with water, placed it on that silver tray, carried it to the Congress Hall, and placed it on the table. Is that right?
Yes, sir, that's right.
And you say that you're sure that the tray was placed on the table at 8:45.
I'm sure of it, sir, yes. You see, I was due to start cleaning the West Wing at 9 o'clock, and I looked at my watch and said, blimey, I'd better get a move on if I want a cup of tar first.
And you never came back to the Congress Hall?
No, sir, I never.
Thank you.
Sir.
Well, thank you, Mr. Matthews. I think that's about all. I must check these timetables against the times given me by the President. You say, Professor Wilson, that the Congress commenced at 9 o'clock.
Yes, that is so.
I'm now convinced that the glass was tampered with at the Congress Hall. Who was the first to arrive at the hall?
Let me see. I was... Oh, no. Marchbanks. He was already on the platform when I got there.
What time did you get there?
I'd say about 5 to 9.
Did you touch the glass or the jug at all before you opened the proceedings, I mean?
No, I just made sure it was there. I didn't want another altercation with the worthy professor.
What do you mean?
Oh, he was rather Teutonic in his reminder at the cocktail party.
Auf Wiedersehen, Professor Wilson.
Here's your coat, sir.
Danke schön.
Good night, Professor. We'll see you in the morning.
Yeah, my lecture. The condition of my mouth when I speak, it gets very dry. Please make sure there's fresh water.
My dear Professor, there's always fresh water on the conference table. Is there not, Matthews?
Always, sir.
I see. And you say that Professor Marchbanks was already at the hall when you arrived?
Yes, he was.
Oh, Mr. President, don't you think we ought... Sorry, Inspector. Oh, no, not a bit. Just the man I wanted to see, Professor Marchbanks. The President tells me that you were the first to arrive at the conference. Yes, I was. You saw the jug of water and glass on the table? Yes, I did. Did you touch the glass? I'm afraid so. I moved a little further towards the center, handier for the speaker. I took it off the tray. I see. I'm sorry, but then it must have been yours. There are 3 distinct fingerprints and 1 rather smudged. That makes 4 in all. Buckley, who put the tray there, yourself, who moved the glass, Professor Wilson, who picked up both glass and jug to pour the water, and, of course, the unfortunate Schultz, who drank from the glass. So that makes 4 suspects. One didn't have to handle the glass to doctor it. Thank you, gentlemen. I trust that neither of you will be leaving London for the time being. I'm almost certain to want to question you again. Carr?
Operations here, Inspector.
Yes?
Rather negative about the late Professor Schultz, sir.
Oh?
Hasn't visited this country for 12 years. Stayed at Trumpington near Cambridge while he was attending a course at Queen's College.
That's not going to help us much, is it? But I'll be...
Beg your pardon, sir.
I'm sorry, Ops. I was indulging in a little self-castigation. I'm a blind, stupid nitwit.
Well, sir...
Now, you'd better not say anything, or I'll have you up before the disciplinary board. Matthews. Peter Matthews. Employed by the Royal Society. I want to know everything and anything about him, and as quickly as you can.
Very good, sir.
It had to be. There was no other reasonable explanation. For the rest of the day, I went through the motions, pursuing my investigation, checking on all the delegates, the staff, receiving reports from ex-branch. Yet deep down in my heart was the knowledge that the answer to the mystery of who killed Professor Gustav Schultz could be supplied by one man. Well?
Peter Matthews.
That's the man.
What do you say, sir?
I'm sorry. Well, what have you got?
Peter Matthews. Employed before the war as a trainee scaffolding engineer. Conscripted in the army in 1941. Taken prisoner in 1943. Released by American forces in 1945.
Not enough, Ops. Not half enough. Where did he serve in the army? Where was he taken prisoner? And by the same token, where was Professor Schultz during those years? Because I want motive, man, motive. It had to be. It was beyond all credence that men such as Professors Marchbanks and Wilson would plot and execute a murder in the august precincts of the Royal Society. It had to be Matthews. It was. Carr?
I'll get in now, sir.
Come on, up with it, Ops. What have you got?
Peter Matthews, posted to the Rifle Brigade March the 4th, 1941.
Yes?
Transferred to Special Services on January the 10th, 1943. Worked behind the enemy lines. Was captured in October the same year.
And Schultz?
Matthews was a prisoner in the Frowley camp where the commandant was Schultz.
That's it. That ties it up. Thank you, Ops. Tell ex-branch they've done a good job. Ah, Professor Wilson. Tell me, Professor, what do you know about Matthews?
Matthews? I wasn't president in those days, of course, but I was on the appointments committee. The authorities had difficulty in finding situations for some of our poor lads who had been tortured during their imprisonment. I remember when I first met Matthews, a youth with the face of an old man. He had been trained to work in structural engineering. After his experiences in Frolig, there was little he could do other than what he's doing now. But surely you don't suspect...
It's more than suspicion, Professor. It's fact.
But you know what that man went through? He went through the agonies of hell and never once betrayed the whereabouts of his comrades. You know he was decorated by the king.
His torturer was Schultz. If he didn't do the actual torturing, he was in command.
There's no point in denying it, is there, Inspector? You figured it all out, chapter and verse. All those years I kept that poison capsule 1/3 of an inch long and 1/6 of an inch wide, and I knew that one day that parasite would help me settle a score with that swine.
Matthews, I'm sorry for you, but you've no right to take the law into your own hands. I'm arresting you for the premeditated
All right,
murder.
Inspector. You needn't finish it. I plead guilty. What is there for me to live for anyway? When they got me back to Blighty, they told me I couldn't hope to live the life of any normal man, you know, have a wife and kids and...
Matthews, is there anyone you'd like me to telephone? Anything I can get you before I take you down to the cells?
Would you please just tell Professor Wilson I'm sorry, and I wouldn't have let anyone else be charged. I really wouldn't have, Inspector.
I'm convinced of that, old chap.
You got on to me pretty quickly.
You helped me.
Me?
How? Well, you see, Matthews. Well, listeners, how did Matthews give himself away? Not sure? Listen to the commercial, and I'll be back to tell you.
What are you thinking about?
Oh, I was just thinking about the week we spent in that dilapidated old beach shack and the fun sandwiches you concocted. You had a thing about yum-yum peanut butter, which you mixed with,
Crisp bacon. My yum-yum special.
It was great. And then there was the honey. I must say, honey and yum-yum taste very good.
It's good, healthy eating. Hey, what are you thinking about now?
Just thinking a yum-yum sandwich would taste very nice right now.
Smooth, creamy, yum-yum peanut butter. Memorable because it's the peanut butter that remains creamy, from the first pat to the last bit right at the bottom of the jar. No wonder little boys, and dads too, enjoy scooping it out by the fingerful.
Yum-yum. This is nice.
Hey, Mom, there's a 4% off special offer right now at all the shops on yum-yum peanut butter.
All right, you little blighter. Off you go to sleep.
Well, listeners, what was it that pointed to Matthews as the culprit? Simple, really. If you remember, there was a complete conspiracy of silence between myself and the two professors. No one else knew that the man had been murdered. And yet Matthews said to me...
Poor bloke, being murdered away from his home.
How did he know, unless he was the murderer? That statement, coupled with...
Here's your coat, sir.
Dankeschön.
Good night, Professor. See you in the morning.
Yeah, my lecture. It's the condition of my mouth when I speak. It gets very dry. Please make sure there is fresh water.
As soon as Matthews set eyes on the commandant of the camp who failed to recognize him, he was determined on revenge. They made his life as comfortable as they could in prison, but the ill health that dogged him took its toll, and he died in prison hospital. The moral of the story, if you're a member of the Gestapo, don't go torturing your prisoner. He'll only get acid. Good night.
The Epic Casebook was produced by Michael Silver for the makers of Epic Pure Sunflower Oil, Maple Margarine, Yum Yum Peanut Butter, and Niblets Cheese Twists, with Hugh Rouse as Inspector Carr. Listen again next Thursday night at 9:30 to another exciting story from our Epic Casebook.
Springbok Radio presents... Inspector Carr investigates.
Far be it from me to criticize the system whereby inquests are convened on deaths that did not occur from natural causes, or where the unusual circumstances resulting in such demise remains in doubt. Of course, should the coroner record a verdict of death by misadventure, or as the result of an unfortunate accident, then, in terms of investigation, the police are not involved. However, and this is the point, should the jury declare that death resulted from a deliberate action by person or persons unknown, or should an open verdict be brought in, then it becomes a matter for the murder squad. Unhappily, this can mean an interval of up to a month from the commission of the crime to the necessary evidence being forwarded to Scotland Yard. And you don't have to be told that when it comes to murder, time is of the essence. It was because of this that I worked so fast in order to prove that Edward Bassett's death was indeed premeditated, although in the beginning this was very much in doubt. Let me tell you about it. I've called my story An Open and Shut Case. Bassett owned a fur salon in West London's highly fashionable shopping thoroughfare known as Lower Audley Street. I was informed of his death whilst I was in Scotland Yard's canteen having a morning coffee with Dr. Baxter when...
All right. I better be off. See what they're doing in the labs. Got a busy morning in front of you?
Oh, it depends what transpires at the daily conference. Oh, hello, what have you got there?
Miracles of modern science. One of those new mobile telephones.
Operations room, won't you, Inspector?
Oh, no rest for the wicked. Thanks. Yes, Ops?
Suspected murder has just been reported, sir.
Oh, what do you mean, suspected murder?
Yes, sir. A Madame Robert.
Please?
Please come. Monsieur Bassett is locked in the storage room. He is dead. It is a murder.
Murder? Where are you speaking from, madam?
Bassett First Salon, Lower Audley Street.
Locked in the storage room, murder?
Yes, he is lying there, murdered, I tell you.
What's your name, please?
My name is Gerard. Madame Gerard, I am the manageress. Oh, please send someone.
Have you got in touch with the doctor?
No. What is the use? He is dead, I tell you. Mr. Bassett has been murdered. He has been locked in that place over the weekend.
Sounded friend, sir. Seemed quite convinced it was no accident, sir.
Well, our senior police surgeons is in the canteen with me. Organised transport. The woman may be right. Within a matter of minutes, Dr. Baxter and I were staring down at the still, lifeless figure. His loosened tie and open shirt collar told its tragic tale.
Poor devil. Look at his broken fingernails. Struggled to open the door.
He was such a wonderful, good person.
Is there an office we can go to, Madame Gerard? You've had a shock, and there's no point in standing here almost freezing to death. Sorry, unfortunate phrase. Can I leave it to you, Doc?
Yes, you can. Although we know how the poor man died, it's difficult to determine when. You go ahead. I'll join you just as soon as I finish my examination.
Examination? What is there to examine? He died because he froze to death, didn't he?
No, madam. He suffocated to death. Poor chap died from lack of oxygen. Oh, there's always the possibility that your employer was coshed first and then placed in the refrigerator. There are all sorts of things to look for, Madame Gerard. Murders are seldom as simple as they appear at first glance.
We'll leave you to it, Doc. May we go through to the office, please?
If you follow me.
You're sure that it's impossible for that door to close accidentally?
Oh, it's quite impossible, Inspector. Once the door is shut, the wheel has to be turned. Otherwise, the locks don't... Are you safe? Click.
And you don't think somebody could have slammed the door and then turned the locks into position, not realizing that your employer was in there?
Oh, when she went to shut the door, she would see him. Through here, please.
Well, it's now 9:15. When does the rest of the staff arrive?
In about a quarter of an hour. Oh, please, sit down.
Thank you. You made an interesting observation just now, Madame Gerard.
Interesting? don't understand.
You seem convinced that it was a woman who locked Mr. Bassett in his own safe.
I didn't say such a thing, Inspector.
Well, not in so many words, but you said when she went to shut the door, she would see him.
Oh.
Well, it does suggest that you believe that if it was murder, the killer was someone of your sex. Well, Madame Gerard, you do want the killer punished, don't you?
It was his wife, Madame Bassett. She did it. She hated him. Hated him. Said things in front of the stars.
Madame Gerard, if you don't mind, I'd like to take your statement in its correct sequence. Now, you arrived this morning to open up.
No, Johnston. He does that.
No? Johnston? Well, if he opened the salon, where is he now?
We arrive here at 8 o'clock. Cleans, makes the place tidy.
I see. But before he cleans the place, the premises have to be opened up. Does he do that?
Yes, he has the keys to the front door.
So, we assume he opened the door in the usual way at 8 o'clock. And then?
Well, he goes to the warehouse. He does that each day. That he does first thing. And as soon as I arrive, it's his job to go to the factory to see if there is any correspondence.
Would he be there at the moment?
I assume so.
Well, tell me what happened when you arrived.
Well, when I came in here, I saw in my diary that Mrs. Duncan Smythe would be calling for her mink coat at 10 o'clock. So I went to the storage room to get the coat and prepare for the customer. And there I see him.
And before that, when did you see your employer last? Was it Friday night?
No, the salon is open on Saturday until 1 o'clock.
I see. Was Mr. Bassett here on the premises then?
Oh, yes.
There's no sign of physical assault. He died from suffocation, all right. I'll make arrangements for the body to be moved. And what about the next of kin? If he was married, his wife, she'll have to be notified.
Well, Madame Gerard says he is married. Oh, what's the address?
72 Eaton Square, Chelsea.
Thank you. No doubt she'll wait for the ambulance, Doc. Madame Gerard, no one must touch that door, particularly the wheel. Trust you won't object to having your fingerprints taken?
Fingerprints? What for? Do you
There's a process of elimination, madam. There may be a number of impressions. We'll even fingerprint your dead employer. What we're hoping for is an impression of fingerprints that should not be on that lock.
I understand.
Were you present when the premises were locked on Saturday?
No, Edward. Mr. Bassett said he would see to it.
And what about this man Johnston?
He had departed for home.
I see. Well, what about the keys? Your employer and Johnston, obviously. But have you a key to the premises, Madame Gerard?
There are 3 sets.
What about the people at the warehouse?
No, they just have keys for the warehouse.
Thank you. Now, what happened on Saturday? Did you leave at 1 o'clock?
Oh, I left about 12. You see, I was going to spend the weekend in the country with my brother and sister-in-law. And Edward, Mr. Bassett, you might as well know I was in love with him.
You were going to spend a weekend in the country. Carry on, Madame Gerard.
Well, I remarked to Edward, I hope it doesn't rain. Oh, dear, Edward, observe those clouds. It's been fine all week now. Just when I go away for the weekend.
Oh, come on now. Just because there are some black clouds doesn't mean it's going to be beautifully sunny in Sussex. Now, are we expecting any more customers this morning?
No one special?
Oh, well, there's no need for you to wait, Louise. You go off home, collect your car, and enjoy yourself in the heart of the Sussex Downs.
Are you sure, Edward? He's only 12. Who knows, some very wealthy American tourist might arrive.
Don't you think I can cope if that happens? No, I know who's coming, and it's going to be the most unpleasant. In fact, I'd be happier if you were not here to witness it.
A dissatisfied customer?
Never you mind. Take advantage of this outburst of generosity and leave this place of slavery.
I picked up my bag and I went home. I collected my car from the garage. That's the last time I saw him alive.
I see. Thank you. For how long have you known Mr. Bassett?
8 years. I first came here as a sort of assistant and model, wearing the furs so that the customers can see the appearance.
And Mrs. Bassett, how long have they been married?
6 years.
May I make a suggestion, Madame Girard? There may have to be an inquest, so don't go accusing anyone of murder. Leave that sort of thing to us.
So you mean you're going to wash your hands of all this?
No, of course not. However, it could have been an accident.
What do you mean an accident? It was deliberate, I tell you. Deliberate.
You'd better answer it, madame. I'll be listening.
Hello? Bassett de Ferrières?
When you've finished with my husband, send him home. Remind him that he has the son who thought his father would be home when he arrived from boarding school.
Do not pretend that you...
Now, give me that. Mrs. Bassett, I'm a police officer. I'm afraid there's been an accident.
Accident? What sort of accident?
Your husband is dead, I'm afraid.
So, she carried out her threat, did she?
Who?
Dear Louise Gerard, of course.
Mrs. Bassett's voice came through the telephone receiver loud and clear, causing the blood to drain from the face of the woman she accused. With a great effort of self-control, Madame Gerard said,
Oh, Daphne, don't you see what this terrible person is doing? She locked poor Edward in that cold storage room, and now she's putting the blame on me.
Here you are, Madame Gerard. Nothing much. Mostly circulars. Oh. Excuse me. Sorry.
Are you Mr. Johnston?
That's right, sir. What's the matter? There's nothing wrong, is there?
We're from the police. Mr. Bassett has been locked in the cold room over the weekend. He's dead. When did you see Mr. Bassett last?
What? I can't believe it. The Friday night. I have every third Saturday morning off.
You see him...
Please, Madame Gerard, we're trying to determine whether your boss was locked in accidentally, or as your manageress suggests, it was deliberate.
Deliberate? I don't know nothing. I didn't take no blooming fur, and now this happens.
Fur? What fur?
Johnson is under notice. He arrived back with his delivery van, minus a mink stole.
I told you, somebody must have taken it when I was delivering that parcel in Cadogan Square.
Oh, you should have locked the
And
back...
you should have locked the front door. When I came back that night and found the two of you...
That is enough, Johnston.
No, it isn't. I don't believe that mink stole was ever in the delivery van. You said you put it in there. You wanted me out of the way.
All right, Johnston, that's enough. I take it you'll be here for the rest of the day. I shall come back later this afternoon. Don't you think, Doc, that there was something exceptionally sad, the way the stretcher bearers carried the body of poor Bassett out of the shop, put him in the ambulance, away from the business he must have spent years building up? My antennae told me it's murder, all right.
Could have been an accident. That woman could have slammed the door, not knowing he was there. Now he's so ashamed that she's accusing others of murder.
Well, if Madame Gerard is to be believed, Bassett was there alone on Saturday, waiting for someone. Wonder who that someone could be. Oh, well, let's see what Mrs. Bassett has to say for herself. Mrs. Bassett, what we're trying to determine is whether your husband was accidentally locked in the cold storage room on Saturday, or deliberately. Didn't you miss him when he failed to return home?
You must be joking, Inspector. 6 weeks ago, he bade me a curt goodbye. Asked him if he'd been in for dinner. Said he didn't know. Returned home exactly 11 days later.
Without any luggage? Not even a toothbrush?
Edward, luggage. For years, my husband had some smug little love nest. You ask Louise Gerard. She'll tell you all about it.
You say had?
Yes, Inspector. I should imagine he had no further use for it now that he's taken up with that American woman.
What American woman? Do you mind telling me her name?
She's got the junior lead in a rubbishy play called Two Hearts A-Wooing. I suppose it was inevitable that he should tell poor Louise Gerard that he no longer wanted her as a mistress. She's a fool if she thinks I killed him.
When did you last see your husband, Mrs. Bassett?
Friday morning.
Did he have anything on his mind?
He's always got it on his mind.
Please don't choose to misunderstand me, Mrs. Bassett. Your husband suffered a most excruciatingly painful death. Aren't you sorry at all?
Of course I'm sorry, you fool. That was rude of me, but why do you think I stayed married to him all these years? Do you think it was just Louise Gerard, that chit of an actress? I loved him. I tried to hate him, but it was all on the surface. Do you think it's been pleasant for me living under the same roof, the mother of his children, living the life of a nun while he... I'm sorry.
Mrs. Bassett, I have 36 hours left to determine whether it was an accident or murder. Do you really think that Madame Gerard deliberately locked your husband in, knowing the horrible way he would die?
Oh, perhaps not. We women are strange creatures. I was just showing my claws. I suppose she's accusing me of murder out of guilt towards me more than anything else.
Dr. Baxter and I are returning to Scotland Yard. Now, if there's anything else...
It's the first time I've been inside a posh ferries like this, sir.
Hold on to the keys, Jackson. Now that we've locked ourselves in here, we don't want to have to break the window pane to get out.
I've got me here, sir.
Good. Well, let's get on with the experiment.
Look, sir, why don't you let me go to the cold room? You do the listing. I could just as...
No. Let's do it as we planned. Now, here we are. Now, we turn the wheel... So... It's got it. Oof, it's cold. Now, I'm going right to the very end. You stay here at the opening, Jackson, and see if any of these fur coats and things obscure me from you.
Right, sir.
Right, got to the end. I'll get behind this rack. You see me?
Yes, sir. Even those very long coats are about 2 feet from the ground. I can easily see part of your legs and your shoes, sir.
All right. Now, supposing I'm over here, and you're about to shut the door. What now?
Oh, now I can see the top of your head, sir.
Well, now close the door. Yeah, but don't forget to open it when I shout with you, Jackson.
No fear of that, sir. I've closed the door, sir. Can you hear me turning the wheel from inside, Inspector?
Very much so. The sound in here is very clear. There's a kind of echo effect. How well can you hear me?
Very clearly, sir.
Well, it'll let me out before I catch pneumonia. I wasn't in there for more than 3 minutes, and already I'm somewhat breathless.
You must be murderous. If you heard me turn the wheel and I heard you shout.
Precisely, Jackson. Assuming Bassett was hidden by the furs, which we now know to be impossible, and assuming the door was closed accidentally, he'd surely hear the wheel turn and scream or shout in alarm. Let's get it back to the yard, make out a murder docket. Here's Ops.
Lee Hamilton, sir. Junior lead in 2 Hearts Wooing. She's been out of the show for over a week, sir. Operated for appendix last Tuesday. She's at the Queen Victoria Clinic.
Well, that's her out. What else?
Ex-branch reports that the manager of the jewellery shop next to Bassett, sir, he was standing in his doorway when Johnson opened the shop.
Just a minute, Ops. I want to know who was on patrol duty on Saturday afternoon.
Whilst on patrol duty, I examined the locks of all the shop premises in Low Audley Street and can definitely state that the front door of Bassett's to Furrier's was locked, sir.
Are you sure of this, Constable?
Absolutely, sir. I was round about 1:30.
Now, look, Constable, I've been on the beat myself, and I know the temptation to skip the odd street or premises, but there's a murder involved here, so forget what you put on your duty book and tell me the truth. This is vitally important.
But I did, sir. I swear it.
You say, Madame Gerard, that Mr. Bassett suggested you'd leave early, and you did.
That is so, Inspector.
You left about 12 o'clock, correct?
It is correct.
And you say you collected your car and drove to Sussex. Whereabouts in Sussex?
Osmonceau.
Yes, I know where it is. What time did you get there?
A little after 1:30.
I think the time's come to concentrate on our main suspect. I want Johnston photographed. Lower Audley Street's a very busy thoroughfare. Somebody must have seen him.
Oh, let's go, sir. Although the greater the crowds, the less chance of identification sometimes.
Oh, sure enough, Jackson. We now know that Bassett was deliberately killed. Now, if we can prove he was lying, that will be enough to demonstrate his guilt. And let's see what Johnston has to say for himself. Mr. Johnston, as you well can imagine, everyone connected with the establishment is suspect. Where were you, for instance, on Saturday morning? Were you anywhere near the premises?
What would I be doing in Lower Audley Street? Told you it was my morning off, sir. I was at home.
But you had a meeting with your boss on Saturday, didn't you?
I what? What meeting?
Oh, don't be a fool, man. You can't expect to walk down Lower Audley Street without somebody working in the other stores seeing you. I may as well tell you that...
Well, yeah. I did have a meeting with him. I asked him if he'd changed his mind about me leaving.
Oh? What happened?
Well, I told Mr. Bassett that I got a wife and 2 kids to think of, but I could see his mind was made up, so I went home.
Then why did you tell me that you hadn't seen your employer since the Friday night?
Because I was scared, that's why.
I don't believe you. And I must warn you that anything you now say will be taken down and may be used in evidence.
Well done, Carr. Do you think the DPP will agree to prosecute?
I think so, Doc. Now that we've got eyewitnesses to prove that Madame Gérard was seen filling up with petrol at Guildford at 1:10. And Mrs. Bassett's maid can swear that she and her son were having lunch between 1 and 1:30. That puts her in the clear.
Trouble is, it's all rather circumstantial, isn't it, Carr?
Oh.
And all Johnson has to do is say that he panicked when you questioned him and that the door was open when he got there that morning. Everybody will know he's lying, but will they be able to prove it?
Of course. You forget another vital piece of evidence. It was the PC on patrol duty who provided it.
The front door of Bassett's Furriers was locked, sir.
Are you sure of this, Constable?
Absolutely sure. It was round about 1:30, sir.
That proves that Johnson could not have left the shop door unlocked. We know that Bassett couldn't have locked the door. He was dead, whilst Madame Gérard was on her way to Sussex. That was Johnston's foolish mistake. Had he not locked the front door when he left, there might well have been an inquest after all, with a verdict of murder by some person or persons unknown.
Inspector Carr Investigates, with Hugh Rouse in the title role, is written and produced by Michael Silver. Listen again next Thursday night as Inspector Carr Investigates.
The Epic Casebook. In which Inspector Carr investigates.
On more than one occasion, I've demonstrated in this series that some of the most baffling investigations concern those acts of murder committed on the spur of the moment. Crimes which are not planned in advance, or premeditated, of course, otherwise the crime would not be labelled murder, but committed on impulse. The killer destroys his victim and then disappears. On the other hand, many a murderer has been brought to the bar of justice because the criminal takes so many steps to conceal his guilt as to lead the detective in charge of the case right to his very door. Too clever in concealing his tracks, an over-elaborate alibi, and so on. Take tonight's story as a case in point. I'm not saying that the culprit would not have been arrested eventually. We'd have caught him all right. But his over-elaborate piece of deception accelerated the process. Let me tell you about it. I've called my story An Author's Ending. I wonder how many of you remember Olivia Shaw. Today she's almost forgotten, yet she was a fine writer whose word pictures of the London scene delighted me. Olivia Shaw shot dead, you say?
Yes, sir.
When, where?
Call just came through, sir. 14 Edward Terrace, Regent's Park, sir.
Edward Terrace, right. Any action been taken?
Yes, sir. Sergeant Wilkins from the Marylebone Police Station is at the address now, sir.
Right, arrange transport. I was met by Sergeant Wilkins, who took me to the second floor where the murder took place. The dead body of Olivia Shaw was slumped across the leather-inlaid desk, a gunshot wound disfiguring the left side of her face. The window immediately behind her was splintered into star-shaped fragments spreading out from a neat hole. It was a typical author's study. 2 walls of books, wood panelling, a comfortable armchair, a leather couch, and a coffee table casually in one corner. Functional and extremely lived in. Sergeant Wilkins gave me his story.
I was on patrol car duty, sir. Received a call to proceed here at 6:25 p.m. The report indicated that a woman had locked herself in a room and would not answer the door. I was met downstairs by a maid and brought up here, sir, where Mr. Hambleton was waiting for me.
Mr. Hambleton? Well, who's he?
The husband. Olivia Shaw was her writing name, sir.
Oh. Is Mr. Hambleton here?
Yes, sir, in the drawing room downstairs.
You say the door was locked?
Yes, sir. Mr. Hambleton said his wife had been in the study all afternoon.
Yes, she's been there all the afternoon, Sergeant. I'm getting worried about her.
Worried, are you, sir? Is that why you telephoned the police saying it was urgent? If you and your wife had some sort of quarrel, then I suggest...
Give me patience. Don't you understand what it might mean? She's... well, like all writers, my wife is given to fits of extreme depression. Olivia! Olivia! You see what I mean, Sergeant?
Well, if you're so worried, why haven't you broken down the door?
Oh, look at this door, Sergeant. It was built 100 years ago, solid as a rock. How are we going to break it down?
Well, there is obviously something wrong. That knocking would have awakened the dead. I'm sorry, sir. I shouldn't have said that. You say it is locked from the inside. It's more than that. It's been bolted. I'm afraid we'll need an axe if you give me permission to break the door down.
Door? You seem to have taken half the wall with it.
Well, sir, as you can see, it's about 6 inches thick. We had to take it off its hinges.
Because it was bolted?
Yes, sir.
You are certain it was bolted from the inside?
Well, positive. I left it for you to see, sir. As you see it now, it's just as we found it.
Nothing in this room's been touched?
Nothing, sir. I let no one into the room. They saw her at the desk, of course. It was obvious what had happened. I then sent them downstairs, posted the constable at the gate till your arrival, and I remained here.
Right. Well, let's have a look. That hole in the window lines up with the roof of those flats opposite. Constable, nip across there, will you? Get on the roof and see if you can find out anything. I want you to shine your torch towards this window. Right. Olivia Shaw. My way to go.
I saw her on television once, sir. Some highbrow panel thing. Never read her books.
I have. Read every book she had published. A guide to toxicology? No. What on earth would she be doing with a book on poisons, or more accurately, a guide to poisoning?
Well, probably in the process of writing a murder mystery, sir.
Possibly, but crime writing was hardly her line of country. Oh, there. Look at this writing. She's calling the book Bitto's the Pill. What's that?
Sir?
I fished that crumpled paper out of the basket. Looks as though it's got some writing on it.
Yes, sir. Same sort of paper as this fool's cap, sir. Here we are, sir.
Thank you. Well. Title here, Poisonous to the Taste. Oh, well, that probably explains the book on poisons. Yeah, come to think of it, where's the pen? She must have been using a pen.
It's just by the desk on the floor, sir. Although, there is something strange somewhere, sir. If Olivia Shaw was writing when she was shot, the pen would be on the desk. Or it would have rolled off the front of the desk. But not there, right at the back.
Well, it could be, Wilkins. The bullet wound on the left side suggests that she turned her face just as the killer fired. No, it's consistent, all right. Hey, wait a minute. There's the constable with a torch on that roof. Good now. Let's see. Yes, it's how it happened. Her head had been just about here. That lines up with the hole in the window and where the constable is now. All right, let's go downstairs. Sergeant Wilkins had omitted to warn me that the bereaved husband was in a wheelchair. I don't know why I should feel that his incapacitation should be important, but I did. The whiteness of his knuckles showed as he gazed up at me, his hands clenching the upper rims of the wheels. As he sat there, with his white silk shirt, large black bow, his pink and white face and penetrating blue eyes, he looked for all the world like the portrait of an early Victorian poet. That's a terrible business, Mr. Hambleton.
My car crash? Or what happened to my wife?
I was referring to the death of your wife. You say you had a car crash?
Yes.
How long have you been married, Mr. Hambleton?
2 years.
I understand that Sergeant Wilkins told you that your wife was murdered as she sat at her desk.
No, but that's impossible. I mean, Olivia was locked in. We had to break the door down.
Well, somebody fired from the roof opposite her window. Where she sat was in the direct line of fire. Forgive me asking this, Mr. Hambleton, but was your marriage a happy one?
Reasonably so. By modern standards, that is.
Mr. Hambleton, who would want to climb onto the roof opposite and shoot your wife to death? Have you any idea?
No idea at all. Some maniac who didn't like her last book, perhaps.
Forgive me for saying this, but you don't look particularly upset.
Don't I? Well, possibly because I feel that all this is part of Olivia's own creation. There's an air of fantasy about it.
In what way?
Well, the locked room, firing from a rooftop. Well, that's the sort of thing she might think up in her bath. That's where she concocted most of her plots.
Plots? But I regarded Olivia Shaw as one of the more serious writers.
Oh, not as Olivia Shaw, I don't mean. Another name. Edgar Thomas Milne.
Do you mean that your wife was Edgar Thomas Milne, the crime writer?
I do. Olivia's books sold in their thousands. As Edgar Thomas Milne, she sold millions.
Well, that explains the book on toxicology upstairs. Tell me about your accident.
Oh, I overtook on the M1 when I shouldn't have done. Got my license endorsed and deserved it.
When did you see your wife last?
When we broke down the door of her study.
Mr. Hambleton, you know perfectly well what I mean. Your wife has been murdered, and although you don't appear to be overwhelmed at her death, I expect you to assist to catch the murderer. I take it you want the murderer caught.
Well, of course. No, I'm sorry. I last saw Olivia at about 2:30 this afternoon.
Where? What was she doing then?
Well, we'd just finished lunch, and Olivia said she was going to her study to work.
I see. Was everything quite normal? You didn't row or anything?
Perfectly normal. We were on the best of terms.
What did you do when your wife went to the study?
I went out there. Look, if you look through the window, you'll see my workshop.
Oh. What happens in your workshop? What do you make?
Not make. Create. At the moment, I'm working on a metal creation showing man and the H-bomb.
I see. Can you walk at all, Mr. Hambleton?
Not an inch.
Well, you could hop around on one leg, couldn't you?
You try it. My left leg is broken, and so is my right ankle. Oh, I can do a balancing act on my crutches, I suppose.
So you didn't see your wife from the time you went into your workshop until when?
Well, she usually came down to tea. I manoeuvred myself back from my workshop through these French windows. I rang for tea, but no Olivia.
And then?
I rolled myself back into the workshop. It worked until about 5. Still no sign of her.
Well, didn't that worry you?
Worry me? Good heavens, no. Why should it? She's a writer. I can only go into her study and not emerge till midnight. Well, that's one thing she's impressed on everyone. When she's in the throes of literary creativity, she's not to be disturbed. Poor Olivia. She'll never finish Bitter as the pill now.
Well, from what I could see, she just started the book. She hadn't even written a rough outline. You say you never disturbed her, and yet you called her at 6:15.
Yes, I did. At about that time, the telephone rang.
Regent 1612.
I want to speak to Mrs. Hambleton, please.
Well, I don't know whether I can disturb her, sir, but... It's for Madam, sir.
No, I'll take it. Hello, Hamilton speaking.
Oh, hello, Mr. Hambleton. We'd very much like to talk to your wife, if we may.
I'm sorry, my wife can't be disturbed.
This is Connor speaking. There seems to be a conflict in times in the proofs. It says that Phillips arrives at the house at 10:30, and then in the next paragraph it says 8:30. Now, which is it, do you know? We're waiting to go to press now.
No, I don't know, Chap. Look, I'll go and ask her. Just hold on, will you? Olivia, there's something wrong with your manuscript. Olivia, he's waiting on the telephone. It's strange. Fred, come up here. Olivia!
Seems bolted on the inside, sir. Funny madam doesn't answer.
Yeah, she might have had a heart attack or anything. Look, we'll have to break the door down. You won't be able to do it on your own. We'd better dial 999 to get the police assistance. And, well, that's when you chaps came on the scene.
I see. And you still have no idea why your wife was murdered or who was likely to do the killing?
No idea at all.
Excuse me, sir.
Yes, Sergeant.
Dr. Macpherson has asked me to tell you that he's been up to see the body. He'd like a word with you.
Oh, good. I didn't hear him arrive. Excuse me, Mr. Hamilton. Hello, Mac. Glad you saw my note. What's the story?
Dead about an hour and a half to 2 hours. Shot with a 45, I'd say.
What did you say? Well, she was shot with a gun. You couldn't fire a pistol from... All right, Mac. You don't know the circumstances, and I've been a bit of a fool. Come inside, will you? Mr. Hamilton, this is Dr. Macpherson.
How do you do?
You'll appreciate that everyone who knew your wife must be suspect.
Look, if you're going to ask this doctor to examine my legs to see if I've really been crippled or not, by all means. I didn't kill my wife.
But I think you did. It's rare for a policeman to make such an accusation without first convincing himself that he could justify such a charge. For a brief second, I regretted my impetuous outburst, but only for a second, despite the police surgeon's statement.
His left leg and right ankle are broken, all right.
How dare you? Are you accusing me of killing my wife?
I was uttering a thought. I'm making no accusations officially, but you'll be hearing from me. All right, let's get back to the yard. Yes?
Operations here, Inspector.
Yes.
Motive all right, sir. Her husband is sole beneficiary. Ex-branch have taken a statement from the servant, sir. Apparently the husband has been kicking over the traces.
Well, motive isn't going to help us much. What about ballistics?
Ballistics say it was a 45, sir.
It's all so incredible. I'm convinced he killed her. Everything points... Oh, well. Thanks, Ops. Yes.
I hear you've been looking for me.
Yes, I have, Mac. Your medical report. You sure the pistol was fired from a distance of about 6 feet, not from the roof?
Perfectly.
Well, you better sit down. I need you as a mental anvil. This woman is in a locked room, bolted on the inside, with only one window. 2 floors up, no access to the window from outside, no secret panels in the room, none of the fancy hocus-pocus of detective stories. A shot's fired through the window from outside. The glass on the floor fitted the shattered window, so we're sure of that. Just one shot. No other bullet found in the room. And we heard from Sergeant Wilkins that nothing was touched after he himself had broken down a locked door.
No one could fire a pistol from the top of the roof. That's out. It's impossible, no matter how brilliant a marksman. In any case, you've read my report.
Well, I'm stumped. Yet I'm convinced her husband did it.
Well, in all my years as a police surgeon, I've never come across a man who seemed less of a suspect. 2 broken legs and a bolted door. A motive?
Money. He'd been hitting it rather high before his accident, had our friend Hambleton. His gambling debts alone come to quite a few £1,000s. We also know that Mrs. Hambleton telephoned her bank manager to say that her husband was to draw no more monies without her permission. Oh, it's all there, except for one thing.
2 things, Carr. Not only proof, but how. You've certainly got a Chinese puzzle on your hands, haven't you?
Oh, you can say that again, Mac.
Well, what are you going to do now?
Well, do what I always do when I've reached the point of no return. I'm going to get hold of the sergeant who was there when the door was first broken down and pay another visit to the scene of the crime. Now, Sergeant Wilkins, we are going to take our jackets off. We're going to go on our hands and knees like some caricature of Sherlock Holmes. We're going to pray that this thick carpet might give up its secrets, or these walls might tell us that the impossible is still possible. Gibberish, Sergeant, but you know what I mean.
I do, sir. Let's hope something turns up.
In a manner reminiscent of the character created by Conan Doyle, Sergeant Wilkins and I began to peer through our magnifying glasses as we crouched on all fours. I'd begun to give up hope when... Got some, sir? Huh?
Here.
Glass?
Yes, sir. Tiny little fragments.
Oh, of beautiful glass. Good. Well, let's go on searching. If we could only Oh, that's asking. Look over there, Wilkins. What does that look like to you? And then over there, left-hand frame of the door.
Let me see, sir. Looks like putty, sir.
It is putty. That's where he bored the small hole. He must have a well-equipped workshop. That's how he managed to slide the bolt. Well, we've got him, Wilkins, we've got him. Now, I'm being a little precipitate, Sergeant. Ignore the last remark. Let's go and have a look at that workshop, shall we? In the meantime, we'd better get that constable back on duty here again. We crossed the grounds and went into Hambleton's workshop. There was ample evidence of the man's tremendous creative ability, abstracts, figures, metal designs. But what was even more interesting was his equipment. That's a very handy-looking lathe he has there, Sergeant.
I can hear the wheelchair, sir.
Well. Good afternoon, Mr. Hambleton.
Might I ask what you're doing in my work?
Mr. Hambleton, you're a rather silly man, you know.
What are you talking about?
Well, surely you didn't think that we accepted the possibility of a revolver being able to aim so accurately as to kill your wife from that distance, from the roof across the road?
I suppose I do have to listen to all this.
Yes, you do, Mr. Hambleton. Have you ever possessed a .45 revolver?
No. And I did not kill my wife.
Well, I think that I can demonstrate quite conclusively to a judge and jury that you did. And what's more, I can demonstrate motive and opportunity. Now, why don't you be a good fellow and own up to it, Save us all a lot of bother.
Get out of my house. You hear? Unless you've got a warrant.
No, I haven't got a warrant. But I warn you, Mr. Hamilton, I'll be back with one, and I wouldn't try any tricks if I were you, for from now on, I'm going to have you watched night and day.
You sent for me, sir?
Yes, Sergeant. I've been going through all the notes I've made. They still don't add up.
But I thought...
Yes, so did I. Wishful thinking. I've got a feeling that you've been used.
Me, sir?
Yes. All along I thought it was rather curious that a man like Hambleton should phone for police assistance merely in order to break a door down. His servant Fred could have got an axe and done so. Why need the police?
I don't know what you mean, sir.
Because he wanted you there to establish without any shadow of doubt that it was bolted from the inside. Now, this is what I think happened. Hambleton went to call his wife, as he told us. But when he knocked on that door, it wasn't locked or bolted at all. Remember what we saw on the framework?
Yes, sir.
Mm-hmm. Now, this is the case we're going to present to the public prosecutor. I want to see whether you agree with it. I shall charge that Hambleton wheeled himself into the study, took up a position on the left side of his wife, and as she turned away from him, he pulled out a .45 pistol, shot her through the head. Go along with that theory, Sergeant?
Yes, sir. But there's one thing that's worrying me.
Yes?
A .45 gives off a pretty loud report. Well, surely the servants would have heard something.
Not if a silencer had been fitted. Unless the study is so soundproof as to hold in all noise. I think the silencer's more likely.
Yes, sir. Particularly as the noise could be heard through the window.
Ah, yes, the window. Coming to that. Now, my theory is that the shot was fired through the window, all right, and that's where Hambleton's workshop began to prove its value. Now, all it takes, a couple of screws from the beading. He couldn't walk, but he could stand. He took out the window, stood it up in front of a handy block of wood he'd brought with him, and fired. With me, Wilkins?
Yes, sir, I am.
No sound was heard. He replaced the shattered window in its frame and screwed it up nice and tight. And then the clever Mr. Hambleton collected up all the slivers of glass and arranged them in front of the window, so that we, the stupid police, would think that the shot had been fired from the outside.
What worries me, sir, is...
Well, go on, Sergeant. Now, before we complete our dossier, we've got to anticipate every possible objection, because unless we find the gun that killed her, all this is sheer conjecture. The Commissioner wouldn't move until we've got more facts. So, what are you going to say?
Well, sir, we have established with Russell and Company that this Mr. Hambleton did make a phone call.
Right.
All that is authentic stuff, sir. I mean...
Well,
he couldn't have done all the things we think he did between the times of the telephone call and the time I arrived, sir.
It was all in a matter of minutes.
Yes, of course, but don't you see, Sergeant, that telephone call was highly fortuitous. He had a very good excuse for going and knocking on the door. Well, who knows, but for that he might have left the body there until the following morning. And then he got the servant to summon the police.
Yes, I see that, sir, but the bolts...
Now, I'm coming to that. All it needed was a simple length of nylon. Very thin, very strong. He loops it around the bolt, threads it through the hole in the door jamb, goes outside the study, closes the door, slides the bolt into the socket, and withdraws the nylon through the hole. Highly ingenious, don't you think, Sergeant?
It is, sir, but as you say, it's all on paper. The bits of glass we found and that piece of putty on the door frame, that won't be evidence enough, will it, sir?
Wise words, Sergeant Wilkins. We'll never secure a conviction if we precipitate matters. The gun. What did he do with the gun? Now, this is where we can thank our lucky stars. He's confined to a wheelchair. Yes, Carr?
Operations here, Inspector.
Yes.
Servants confirm that Hambleton never left the house since his motor accident, sir. Experts say that they can find no one who witnessed a man in a wheelchair leaving the premises. Neighbours on either side say they haven't seen any activity, sir.
Thanks, Ops. That's our main hope, and by no means a forlorn one. Now, get through to Marylebone. I want a dozen men with the worthy Sergeant Wilkins in charge. We're going to search that place from top to bottom. One can't dispose of a 45 as easily as all that.
Look, you're wasting your time, Inspector. You've had all these men making a mess all over the place, churning up the garden, now my workshop. You've been here for 3 hours.
I've looked in all the cupboards, sir, everywhere.
Look, if any of you have touched any of my models...
What are you looking at, Hambleton? That's a nice metal vase. And there it was, the final and the most important piece of the jigsaw puzzle. A Sten 45. And with it, the silencer.
I've just read your dossier on the Hambleton case. Brilliant. What a cunning devil.
No, he wasn't, you know, Mac. A clever metal worker, but he gave himself away from the start, although I didn't spot it immediately.
Oh, and how was that?
Well, you see, Mac, when Hambleton said... As indicated to Dr. Macpherson, it's only when I went over Hambleton's statement that I remembered him saying...
Poor Olivia. She'll never finish bitter as the pill now.
That's where he gave himself away. For if you remember, we found that she had written on her manuscript the title, Bitter Was the Pill. And yet, when we went through her waste paper basket, we found that she had written a previous title, Poisonous to the Taste, and scrapped it. This must have been done that afternoon behind her locked door, so-called. How could her husband have known of the new title unless he'd seen it on the dead woman's desk?
The epic casebook was produced by Michael Silver with Hugh Rouse as Inspector Carr. Listen again next Thursday night at 9:30 to another exciting story from our epic casebook. The epic casebook. In which Inspector Carr investigates.
Have you ever wondered at the extraordinary mechanism of the human mind, particularly in relation to the past? A chance remark, a trivial incident, a fleeting item in a newspaper, any one of these can result in the sudden memory of something we had forgotten, or, to be more accurate, had gone so deep into one's subconscious as to be thought forgotten. Remember my dramatizing the investigation into the shooting of an orator as he was haranguing the crowd at Hyde Park's Speaker's Corner? Well, it was the reading of a violent demonstration at what is, after all, a leading London tourist attraction that brought to mind the murder and sent me delving into my casebook of crime. By the same token, a simple announcement by the Borough Council to the effect that a freeway was being built between Edmonton and Hornsey Rise brought vividly to my mind a murder committed at a printing works near what is known as Hornsey Green. Let me tell you about it. I've called my story A Type Set for Death. The weather was at its worst, with the persistent drizzle of rain and the harsh, biting winds creating traffic chaos, as well as an atmosphere of gloom. I splashed along the wet pavements with one thought in my mind, to get to my office as quickly as possible, so that I might take the chill out of my bones by consuming a hot cup of coffee. It was not to be. If anyone wants me, Ops, I'll be in the canteen.
Maker, sir. Oh, just a minute, sir.
What?
I've got the Chief Inspector on the line.
What is it, Ops?
Oh, call's just come through, sir. Murder.
Oh, no.
Just a minute, sir. It's a man identified as Martin Craddock. He's been found dead at Craddock Printing Works, Farthing Lane.
Not a nice morning for it, is it, sir? Good morning.
Good morning, Sergeant. Murder never is very nice, whatever the climate. Not a very large printing works. Who's inside?
Oh, 3 workmen. Not that they'll do much work today, sir.
Were you sent from the local patch?
Yes, sir. Information came through to say you were on your way. Dr. Arnold's on an urgent case.
Call came through from Mr. Brett.
That's right, sir. He's the foreman. He opened the premises.
Well, there's no point in getting more wet than is necessary. Let's go in.
Right, sir.
Oh, what's your name, Sergeant?
Aston, sir. This gentleman is Chief Inspector Carr of the Murder Squad.
Morning, gentlemen. Seems a grim sort of morning all round, doesn't it? So this is or was Mr. Craddock. He lay sprawled on the floor of the printing shed. Nearby was a large bench upon which were various cases of type. The matted hair, the ugly gaping wound, told the brutal cause of death. Nasty business.
Yes, sir.
You did say, Sergeant, the doctor's been and gone.
That's right, sir. It says Craddock's been dead some hours.
And he was in this position when you discovered the body, Mr. Brett?
Yes, sir. Dr. Arnold made a point of saying that there was nothing he could do. He'd better not change the position of the body.
That's quite right. There's something that worries me.
Oh? What's that, sir?
This man's clothes, sopping wet. If your boss, Mr. Brett, was killed here under cover, and there's no doubt that your doctor is right about the poor chap being dead some hours, rigor mortis has obviously set in.
I agree with you, sir. I was just going off duty when the call came through. It didn't start raining until about 6 o'clock this morning.
You sure of that, Sergeant?
Oh, positive, sir. I don't know what it was like in the other parts of London. It's been pretty windy and miserable all night, but there was no rain.
That's interesting. Very interesting. What's that?
Well, that's our Miss Froome. She's opened up the office 9 o'clock.
Oh, Steve, how's the worksheet? Here, what's going on? Why the machine's rolling?
What?
Has there been a burglary or something? Hello, Harry. What? Oh.
Phil, get a cup of water, quick. Right. Shock for anyone, seeing a thing like
Look here, Sergeant, to help me lift the young lady, we'd better try and get her into that office, sir.
Come on.
I'll be all right.
Look, as soon as we get you comfortable, I'll suggest we all have a nice cup of tea. Oh, is that possible?
I think it's a good idea, sir. We can all do
Now,
it.
steady, young lady. You just lean on us.
I can't bear to look at him. I can't bear it.
It's a shocking sight for anyone to have to bear. That's it. Now, in we go. The sergeant and I managed to get the trembling, white-faced young woman to her chair facing a small office desk. As I'd been driven towards the scene of the crime, I'd anticipated a simple act of murder, with robbery as the motive. It was now clear that the investigation was going to be far from simple.
Oh, fancy me doing such a daft thing as passing out.
No, it wasn't daft at all, Iris. Enough to make anyone pass out.
I'm all right now. I'll make the tea.
No, you stay right there, my girl. I know where everything's kept. I'll put the kettle on.
Oh, Tom. Oh, you'll find some sugar in that shelf there.
I know where it's kept.
All right, Mr. Brett. Let's hear from you what happened this morning.
Well, Governor, arrived here at 7 a.m. We had a rush job.
Now, just a minute. How did you get into the works? You got a key?
No. No one keeps the key other than the boss.
Well, what time did he arrive, usually?
7 o'clock. Never missed.
Yes, but surely there must have been days when he was away or indisposed.
Oh, well, Iris opens up.
Yeah, that's right. I got a key to the office. If Mr. Craddock was away or he didn't feel like going in early, he'd phone me and I'd be here in time to let them all in.
I see you have a key to this office.
Yes.
But not for the door that leads into the works.
No.
And what about the communicating door separating this office from the works? Now, that office over there, is that kept unlocked?
No, not during the day.
But when you go off at night, or you have to leave the office for any reason...
Well, if you take a look here, sir, you'll see it's one of those self-locking jobs.
Huh?
You can't open it on the outside without a key.
Yes. Yes, I see. Now, when you came in this morning, Mr. Brett, did you get any impression there had been a struggle or that something had been taken from the works?
No, I didn't, sir.
And you, Miss Froome? Was there anything unusual in this office? Did you let yourself in the usual way, by means of the key, I mean?
I never dreamt. Oh, it was just like any other morning. So I thought...
Now, all of you, I want...
Please, can't we do something about Mr. Craddock lying there?
Yes, perhaps you're right. Yes, we can. Oh, and may I use the phone?
Of course.
Thank you.
New Scotland Yard.
Ops, Carr here. The print men had better come over right away.
Oh, right.
Get through to the ambulance. There's no point in keeping the body here. He's been examined by the local police surgeon. I'll have a word with the doctor as soon as I've finished here.
Very good, sir.
Usual routine. Get the full background on Martin Craddock.
Right, sir.
Now, first of all, let's introduce ourselves. I'm Chief Inspector Carr. Now, that's for your benefit, Miss Froome. Now, I know your name. You are,
My name's Joplin. Phil Joplin.
Thank you.
And I'm Doug Shadwell. You don't think any of us have done it, do you?
My dear Mr. Shadwell, at this stage in the investigation, all I can think about is the gathering of as many facts as I can. I never start pointing fingers until I'm reasonably sure that every angle has been examined, as it were. Now, the first and obvious question. Why? I don't suppose there's anything of sufficient value in a printing works of this nature to consider robbery as the motive? Well, if not robbery, what? You any ideas on the subject, Mr. Brett? I see you're all looking at each other. Isn't anybody going to say anything? Believe you me, when that police torch starts lighting up the dark corners...
All right. If nobody will talk, I will. Mr. Martin Craddock was a nasty piece of work. Wasn't he, Iris? You see, Mr. Carr, Iris Froome is serving out a notice. She leaves tomorrow.
Shut your mouth, Doug. You think Iris would clobber Mr. Craddock just because he gave her the sack?
I didn't say Iris clobbered him. All I'm saying is that he's found himself another... What would you call them, Iris? Private, very private secret.
That's enough of that, Shadwell.
No, Sergeant. Mr. Shadwell's entitled to say his piece. The man out there has been clobbered to death. I told you that I don't start pointing the finger of suspicion so early in the investigation. I do that after I get my facts together, and the facts I must have. Of course, everyone remotely connected with the man will be probed, dissected. We'll even know what you had for breakfast last Tuesday week, and that includes you, Sergeant. Now, let's get on with it. Have you any idea who did this thing, Miss Froome?
No, of course not. But Doug's right. He treated me like I was some cheap woman of the streets. But not when I first started to work here. Oh, no, he didn't then. All smiles and charm. Oh, wish I was dead.
I'm sorry. Normally I conduct any questioning individually and in private. But something tells me that we'll get to the truth quicker if we do it as a group. Now, can any of you identify anyone as a possible culprit? You see? You didn't like Craddock, did you, Mr. Shadwell?
No, I didn't. But then I don't like bosses on principle. But I didn't ever consider murdering him. I mean, why should I? I could always quit. There's no better line of man in business. Ask Sid here.
Well, what about you, Mr. Sidney Brett? How did you get on with your employer?
All right. Told me all I knew about the printing game. What he did in his private life's no concern of mine. I've no reason to have disliked him.
No reason? Of course you had no reason. Because you were his stooge, that's why. Walk in of a morning 5 minutes late. Mr. Craddock, Doug's late again.
If I'd had my way, you'd have been fired long ago. What about the time we found you printing your own private visiting card?
Well, what about it was only a quid's worth?
All right, gentlemen.
Shall I answer?
No, allow me. Hello.
Is that the Craddock Printing Works?
Yes, who do you wish to speak to?
Craddock. That rotten swine? Martin Craddock.
It would appear that the murdered man was not exactly popular with everyone. Whether the man on the telephone would prove to be an unnecessary interruption, or whether a new lead had opened up, remained to be seen. Who wishes to speak to him, please?
My name is Froome. I'm Morris's father. And you could tell that boss of yours that by the time I'm through with him, he'll wish he were dead.
I'm afraid he's that already.
What? What's that you said?
Your daughter's employer has been found murdered. I happen to be a police officer.
Well,
Perhaps we can communicate later.
Where's my Iris?
She's here. Good day to you. It was your father, Miss Froome.
Oh.
Wanting to speak to Craddock.
Oh, I told him not to interfere.
The ambulance and print men have arrived together. There'll obviously be no printing done today. Sergeant, I want this place sealed once the boffins have done their stuff and the body's been removed.
Right, sir.
Now, I want everybody's name and address, and I'll ask you all kindly to refrain from talking too much about the murder.
Right, Inspector.
Sergeant, anything crops up, you can get me back at the yard.
Right, sir.
His next of kin will have to be informed. Can't wait until the reporters hear of it. Was Mr. Craddock married?
A widower, sir. Lived in a private hotel called the Portland. I don't know of any next of kin.
We'll find out soon enough.
Next of kin, sir. Brother. Andrew Craddock lives at 18 Hornsey Green.
I see. What about Craddock?
Got it here, sir. Age 56. Wife died 4 years ago. No children. Business reasonably prosperous. No debts. Made no will.
Well, that simplifies that. Well, what about his movements?
Also, manager Portland Hotel said that Craddock didn't return home for dinner, that his bed wasn't slept in, but it was no cause for concern, as he frequently stayed out all night. Says Craddock used to visit Turkish baths.
A euphemism, I should imagine, from what we know so far.
Should think so, sir.
But have discreet inquiries been made concerning Sergeant Aston?
Yes, sir. He was on duty all night, sir.
Yes, I realise that. But the Edmonton station is less than 10 minutes' walk from the printing works. He could have been a party to the murder. I see there's a shocked silence, Ops. Listen, he's a very bright young policeman, is Aston. It was he who pointed out that the dead man's clothes were sopping wet, although Craddock had been dead some hours and was found inside the works. He pointed out that it didn't start raining until 6 o'clock. Now, what does that mean, Ops?
Craddock was caught somewhere else, sir.
Exactly. He's obviously keen on this girl, Froome. She could have coshed her employer, as they were both walking away from the works. She's terrified at what she's done, knows Aston is on duty. He rushes over, drags the body back into the works. They lock the place up. Remember, she's got a key to the office. They could have dragged the body through the office, through the communicating door, where Brett found him.
But if the sergeant did that, sir, why should he point out to the man's wet clothes, sir?
Because he had to work fast. 6 o'clock. It was becoming light. Any passing traffic could see the body lying outside where the girl coshed him, and because he was aware that any trained detective would realize the conflict between the time of death and the wet clothes, or, for that matter, Aston could have coshed Craddock himself.
Is that what you think happened, sir?
At this stage of the proceedings, I'm merely conjuring up various possibilities. My compliments to Dr. McPherson. See if he can give me a more accurate ETD. Right. After all, the time of death is crucial to the investigation.
Very good, sir.
And order of vehicle, Ops. I'm returning to Edmonton. Well, Sergeant, what have you discovered, if anything?
Well, I did as you requested, sir. Took a statement from Iris Froome. She says...
Well, come on, Sergeant, let's have it.
Well, she was watching television last night, sir, until the close down. Then went for a walk and got home at about 1:45 this morning.
Just a minute, Sergeant. You say she was watching television and then went for a walk and got home. Was she at home until TV closed down?
No, sir, she was with me. She came round to my digs.
I see. And did you walk her home, Sergeant?
Yes, I did, sir.
By chance, did you walk anywhere near the printing works?
She didn't do it,
Please answer my question, Sergeant.
I'm in digs in Plantation Road. To get to Iris's place, we cross Hornsey Green.
And that's that patch of green behind the printing works?
Yes.
Don't you think you ought to have told me all this before?
No, sir, it's got nothing to do with the murder.
What time did you commence night duty?
Well, I did a 6-hour shift, 0200 to 0800 hours, sir. Oh, excuse me, sir. Please?
Yard here. Chief Inspector Carr, will you?
Here's it, for you, sir.
Oh, thank you. Hello.
Operations here, sir.
Yes, Ops.
Senior Police Sergeant says ETD was between 11 p.m. and 1 a.m. No one seems to have seen him after he left.
Thank you. Anything else?
Oh, Philip Joplin. Married, 2 children, alibi watertight, sir.
Shadwell?
Known to the yard as a troublemaker. Was was fined £50 during Easter for causing a public disturbance. Said to be of a violent character, sir.
Thank you. Anything else?
Not at the moment, sir. We'll contact you as soon as ex-branch send anything through.
Thanks, Arps. Tell them to keep searching for that murder weapon. They say that nothing's missing, but it could have been a hammer, a spanner, anything.
Right, sir.
Oh, what about Brett?
Well, nothing known at the yard, sir. In comfortable circumstances. But perhaps the local patch...
Yes, all right, Arps. Thank you. Oh, we now know he was killed between 11 a.m. and 1 a.m.
Iris didn't do it, sir.
Did you?
No, sir. Well, I love Iris. Have done since we were kids at school together. I hated Craddock for what he did to her, but I didn't kill him.
No, Sergeant, I don't think you did. My and Tenny tell me you're innocent. And if you're innocent, Miss Froome must be too, because she was in your company at the time of the murder. Did you get close to the printing works?
Within 200 yards, sir.
Could you see whether there was a light on?
We wouldn't have been able to see, sir, because the green skirts the back of the works and there were no windows.
I see. Well, I now think you're innocent, Sergeant, because you did not arrive on duty until 2 a.m. Had Dr. Macpherson put the ETD after that time, then I'd put you down as the killer.
I don't understand, sir.
Well, because the murderer was clumsy. Why drag the body back into the works if Craddock was killed outside? On the other hand, if you were on duty and left the station on some pretext or other in order to commit murder, you'd have to work fast. You'd have had knowledge that Miss Froome was with Craddock at the works, rushed over there, clobbered him as he was walking away, and then dragged him back inside.
And now, sir?
Oh, don't be a fool, man. You're a trained police sergeant. You had all the time in the world to do it. Clobber him, take his wristwatch or pocketbook, and then report seeing some sinister character running away. No, you didn't do it. But who did, Sergeant Aston? Who did? The usual rhetorical question, a question that went unanswered. No one saw Craddock. We knew that he'd remained behind at the works when his employees had gone. We knew that he'd dined that night at a small restaurant. This was at 8 p.m., after the works had closed. But where did he go from there? Not one single human being was able to supply the answer. No motive, no strong suspect, now that I'd decided the sergeant and therefore the girl were in the clear. I thought I'd do a little probing in the direction of Douglas Shadwell. Ready for another, Mr. Shadwell?
No, thank you. I've got to get home to the missus. Why don't you come out with it? What do you want to know? I hated him and everything he stood for, but I didn't bump him off.
Your alibi is not so hot, you know. Oh, I know that your wife can corroborate,
Oh,
but...
come off it, Chief Inspector. You can't try your strong-arm methods on me. I was home in bed with my missus, and you've no right to call her a liar or me.
Now, keep your shirt on. No one's calling you a liar. Now, listen, Chadwell. I know you believe the system is all wrong, and I know your convictions.
Oh, so that's it. My police record. Just because I pushed some silly old tart and she fell over. It was a political demonstration. It wasn't...
Let's not quarrel, Mr. Shadwell. You think the girl did it. We're convinced otherwise.
I didn't say that. If you say she didn't do it, then I'm glad for her sake. May have shot my mouth off. We were all edgy. Not a pleasant thing to have happened.
Fair enough. According to all your statements, Miss Froome left the office at 5:30. You all had a rush job to do, which finished at 7 o'clock. And then you, Joplin, and Brett left the works and all had a drink at the King's Arms. You were all there for about 10 minutes. You left the pub together and went your separate ways.
That's it. And when we left the old boy back in the works, he was still alive and well.
We know that he left the works just before 8 o'clock, went to a nearby restaurant, stayed there for about 40 minutes, but from that second on, he seems to have vanished into thin air.
Aye, but we know where he finished up, don't we?
Yes, we do. Is there nothing else you can think of?
No, nothing at all. Why don't you have a word with Sid?
Oh, I have. However, I'll take your advice and see him again. That's a very nice house you've got here, Mr. Brett.
Well, we like it.
It's nice of you to agree to see me again. I need to talk to someone. The murder of your boss is a complete mystery. We've checked every possible angle. I've had a dozen men working on his sex life. You know, some unknown irate husband or boyfriend.
Why not girlfriend?
Yeah, that's true. Except Craddock was an unusually tall man, and that crack on his skull would take some considerable strength. I see you've got yourself a nice new colour TV set.
Yeah. Keeps us all amused at night.
I've been looking at your bank account. I see that you put in £500 3 weeks ago. Had a good win at the races.
What is this?
I don't know. But I have a feeling you know more than you care to tell me. You have a wife and 3 children, Mr. Brett. I'm afraid I'll have to question them. You killed Craddock. Why? You left your house at 9 p.m. You were not in the local. Where did you go? Look, it's no good, Mr. Brett. If you make a clean breast of things, it'll be better for you in the long run, and your family.
What have I done? What have I done? He came back that night. Tell me a lie. Tell me he was going to have some dinner at an early night.
Back to the works.
All right. I knew you'd guess something by the way you looked round the furniture. I'd been printing at night. Porn.
Pornography?
They used to send me the works manuscript, and I used to...
I knew it. So, that's where the papers have been going. Let me see. I'll stop the machine. Oh, horrible. You with a nice wife and 3 body children. Give me these.
Look, boss, I can explain.
Come on, it's nearly midnight. Get out, I'm locking this place up.
I haven't been doing this for long. Honest, I haven't, boss.
Get out while I switch off the light. Come on, get out. Where's the key?
Please, boss, let me explain.
You'll explain to the police in the morning. Go on, shove off.
No.
And put that spanner back, or I'll have you for theft as well as
Mr. Craddock! Mr. Craddock! I didn't mean to hit him. I threw the spanner into the disused well by the green and ran home. About 6 o'clock in the morning, I crept out of the house. He was lying there, lying in the pouring rain.
All right, Mr. Brett. You'd better come with me. And so I took Brett back to the yard where he was cautioned, booked, and duly charged. Now, unlike previous arrests, the killer was discovered not because he gave himself away, but as a result of pure deduction. How good a detective are you? Why did it have to be Brett? Because every clue pointed to him as the culprit. In the first place, I asked. And what about the door separating this office from the works?
If you take a look, sir, you'll see it's one of those self-locking jobs.
Self-locking? Then how did Brett get into the office to telephone the police? Besides, we know that someone killed Craddock round midnight, yet it didn't start to rain until after 6 a.m., which means someone dragged the drenched body into the works after that time. Brett admits he arrived for work at 7 a.m., a rather clumsy murder, and that is why in my docket I stress that Brett's confession could be true when he says that he ran after his boss, who found him printing the stuff, pleaded with him not to go for the police, and struck with a spanner without realizing what he'd done. No cold, calculating killer would have returned to the scene of the crime and dragged the body into the printing works. He was sentenced to 15 years hard labor.
The epic Casebook was produced by Michael Silver with Hugh Rouse as Inspector Carr. Listen again next Thursday night at 9:30 to another exciting story from our epic Casebook.